What if I told you that right now, at this exact moment, everything you've ever known exists inside a boundary? Every star you've seen, every galaxy ever discovered, even the light reaching your eyes right now, is trapped inside something we call the observable universe. But here's the question that breaks everything we understand about reality. What exists beyond it? Is there more universe out there, stretching endlessly into the unknown? Or does everything just stop? To even begin answering this, we need to understand something strange, something almost impossible to visualize. The universe is expanding, but not like an explosion where things move into empty space. Instead, space itself is stretching. Imagine drawing dots on the surface of a balloon and then slowly inflating it. Every dot moves away from every other dot, not because they're traveling across the surface, but because the surface itself is growing. That's exactly what's happening to our universe. Galaxies aren't just moving away from us. Space between them is literally expanding. Now here's where it gets even stranger. We can only see a limited portion of this universe, a cosmic bubble around us known as the observable universe. It's about 93 billion light-years across, and beyond that, we can't see anything. Not because there's nothing there, but because the light from those regions hasn't had enough time to reach us yet. So naturally, you might think, if we travel far enough, eventually we'll reach the edge. But that's where things fall apart. The universe doesn't have an edge like a wall. There's no boundary you can touch, no line where everything suddenly ends. Instead, no matter how far you go, there's always more space ahead of you, which leads to a possibility that's both fascinating and terrifying. What if the universe is infinite? If that's true, then there is no edge, no boundary, no beyond, because it simply never ends. But let's pause for a second and imagine the opposite. What if the universe isn't infinite? What if it does have some kind of limit? Then the question becomes unavoidable. What's on the other side? One possibility is surprisingly simple. Beyond what we can observe, there's just more universe. More galaxies, more stars, more space, stretching far beyond what we'll ever be able to see. In fact, this is what many scientists believe. Our observable universe might just be a tiny piece of something unimaginably larger. But then, there's a more unsettling idea. What if our universe isn't the only one? Some theories suggest that our universe could be just one of many, part of something called a multiverse. Imagine countless universes, like bubbles forming in an endless cosmic ocean, each one separate, each one with its own laws of physics. In one universe, gravity might be stronger. In another, time could behave completely differently. And outside our universe, there could be others, existing right now, completely unreachable. You could never travel to them. You could never even detect them, but they might still exist. And then there's the most disturbing possibility of all. What if the question itself is wrong? What exists beyond the universe? That question assumes something very specific. That beyond is a real place. But what if it isn't? Think about it. Distance requires space. Change requires time. If there's no space and no time, then the idea of outside might not even make sense. It's like asking, what's north of the North Pole? At first, it sounds like a valid question, but the more you think about it, the more it collapses, because north only has meaning up to that point. Maybe the universe works the same way. Maybe space and time only exist inside it, and outside isn't empty. It's simply undefined. No direction, no distance, no there at all. And that's where things become almost impossible to imagine, because our brains are built to understand the world in terms of space and time, inside and outside, before and after. But the universe doesn't have to follow those rules. It might not have an edge. It might not have an outside. It might simply exist. No boundaries, no limits, no beyond. And here's the part that changes everything. Everything you've ever known, every star, every galaxy, every piece of cosmic light is just a tiny fraction of what could be out there. Or maybe it's all there is. We don't know. And that's the most honest answer science can give. Not a perfect explanation, not a satisfying conclusion, but the truth. So the next time you look up at the night sky, remember this. You're not just looking at stars. You're looking at the edge of what's observable, the limit of what we can ever hope to see. And beyond that limit, There might be more universe, there might be other realities, or there might be something so far beyond our understanding that we don't even have the language to describe it. And maybe that's what makes the universe so fascinating, not what we know, but what we may never be able to know.